everyone, I'm your mad scientist Rishi, and today I'll be showing what happens to butter when you add heat or cold to it. For this experiment, you will need a stove, one pan, butter, a chopboard but it's optional, and a butter knife. First, I will show what happens when you add heat to it. So first, I took my pan, I put it on the stove, and I'll keep the stove on high. Then I'll take one big piece. You can see it's a solid right now. Oh, it broke just a second. It's a solid right now. So now, if I keep it on the pan for some time, it will turn into a liquid. The heat from the stove is going to melt the butter so that it turns into a liquid form. Well, you can see it's turning into a liquid slowly. First it was a solid and now it's turning into a liquid. You can see that first the butter was in a solid form. So that's why all the molecules were closely packed together. And so that's why it was very hard. Now, since we added the heat from the stove, that's why now it turned into a liquid, and in a liquid the molecules are just little bit more far apart than the ones in a solid. So that's why it's more and you can also see that you know it's a liquid because it is taking the shape of the container, and the container right now is the pan. See, you can see it turned into a liquid. Now the butter is a liquid and it's very free flowing. Did you know that this science experiment is also a good example of a physical change? When I heat the butter, it turns into a liquid, and I can freeze, I can add cold to the butter, so this liquid form of the butter, so it turns back into the cube of butter we all knew. Now that since I said that it's a physical change, now I'm going to show you if I keep this butter into the refrigerator for some time, 5 minutes, then it will turn back into the solid form. I'm just pouring the butter into the container so that when in this container, when I put it back into the refrigerator, it will turn into the solid form. Let me show you. So I took the liquid form of the butter, and now I'm going to keep it in the refrigerator for around 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so first we melted the butter, and in the cold temperatures we kept it in the refrigerator for it to solidify. For the 10-15 minutes I'm waiting, I'll have a cup of hot chocolate. It's delicious. Now, till the time we are waiting, let me try. Since I'm a mad scientist, I need to try so many experiments. So with the same butter, let's try one more experiment. In this one, I'll be showing the effect of pressure. You might be thinking, why pressure? But look, if I put this pressure onto the butter and cut it into pieces, and then if I keep this butter onto the stove, you will see it will melt faster than the butter which was there before. See, it's already starting to melt into a liquid. That's the effect of pressure. Pressure will increase the speed at which a change of state will occur. See, it's already melting. Just some more left and it's already a liquid. So quick compared to the other butter. Now, this is the butter which we added pressure to. I'm going to pour it into another container so it can solidify once again. Let's see. I think the time has come for the butter which we kept in the fridge to solidify. Let's see, is it done yet? Oh wow, that's a lot of good butter. See, it's solidified. Now I will the two processes we experienced today are melting and freezing. When I added heat to the butter, it melted and it turned into a liquid form. But when I added cold to the melted butter and I kept it in the refrigerator, it turned back into the solid form. If I heat up the butter a little bit more, will it undergo a chemical change? Well, since I'm a mad scientist, I have to experience and find out how it works. So that's why I tried doing it. I'm going to heat this butter a little bit more than last time and see what happens to it. My God, there's a color change. Instead of yellow, it turned into brown. What happened? Well, the butter burned. You can also see that the texture became a little bit more crumbly. And it is also starting to smell a little bit burnt. I'm sure this is a chemical change. I will not get my butter back no matter what I do. We did the experiment, but now what's the conclusion? The conclusion is that if you add heat or cold to butter, it changes state. And we also learned what is an example of a physical change and a chemical change. Another thing we learned, what happens when we add pressure to butter and we melt it. Well, we burnt this butter, but I was wondering, is this biodegradable waste or is it a non-biodegradable waste? But I'll tell you in the next experiment after I have a little think about it. Okay, bye for now. I'll see you in the next experiment and I will tell you whether this was a biodegradable waste or non-biodegradable waste. Keep thinking. Bye for now.